Happy Friday, besties. Oh, that's that scary 80s one.
Yeah.
Jump scare. I thought the 90s were like the peak Halloween time. Like I remember watching the Roseanne Halloween special every year and like all that. You walk down the street like, and you're like, oh my God, the blow ups, the inflatables. I don't know what company buys those, but I wish I could Back to the Future and buy some stock in blow up shit for front yards because it has gotten, I mean, I love it, but it's gotten crazy.
I know. We've got shit all over our front
man.
yard.
I love a spooky season though.
Oh, me too.
Don't y'all? Can you believe it? November 1st. What the fuck?
I know. We 2 more months. I swear I can't.
First of the month.
Oh yeah. Rabbit.
And then like, you're getting old when you just keep talking about time, and the calendar and the weather. Like every conversation I'm having now here in my 40s
and the weather.
is, my God, it's so humid today. And can you believe it's November 1st? I mean,
it's supposed to rain
25% chance, but I can feel it in my bones. I can smell it. That's why I said that the other day. I can smell it's going to rain. What the fuck? But I could.
But we have, for those listening in Atlanta or those that have been through Atlanta, we have a news channel called 11 Alive. I think it's an NBC affiliate. It was like, you remember on the old cable or non-cable, basic cable, it'd be like channel 11 on the old TV. No, it's like the NBC affiliate. But anyway, so they're like 11 Alive. And so there's this guy, Chesley McNeil. I think it's my favorite. I'd probably say my favorite weather person in Atlanta. And we've talked, again, of course, we've talked about weather people and what a meaningful character they are in our lives. But so Chesley does this thing called the Whizometer. And he does what the weather is from a 0 to 11. And I swear when it hits 11, I mean, he is like, boom, it is like, it's a big day. And so I bring it up to people regularly, as you can imagine. And I'll be like, what do you think today is on the Whizometer?
So wait, is 11 a good day?
Yes. 11 is yes. 11 is it's like a 10, but better. One better.
Okay.
I took it the other way.
Okay. Got it.
No, it's like like a 1. I guess you could see that when you turn it on. I mean, if it's a 1, it's like an all points bulletin. But when it's an 11, big old smile on Chesley's face. I love it.
You know who I love is that Jim Cantori.
Yes.
The hurricane guy. Oh my God. And there's all the memes and the jokes. Like, he coming to your town, you better freaking evacuate. Like, you better get the hell out of there, Yeah,
you need to have find my friends on your immediate family members, the people you care about, and Jim Cantori, because you need to know if he's coming within your radius, you are fucked. Yep.
With a capital F.
God, he's been doing weather like 30 years, right? Holy shit.
I mean, how many lives does he have?
Oh my God, he is a cat.
Yeah, kitty cat Cantori.
Could somebody forward this episode to him? Meow, kitty cat Cantori. Oh my God, that's kind of cute.
Right? I wonder what he dressed up. We'll have to see if he dressed up for Halloween. I always like to see people in I've always loved the Today Show. When they do their reveal. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. That's cute. Oh, man. Did you all dress up for Halloween this year? Jamie, we saw your outfit. I knew instantly.
Indeed.
What was it?
Good. My kids didn't. I had to show them the video. I was Missy Elliott from the Super Duper Fly video. So I had a big black suit on and I made sunglasses, gold, and whatever. Yeah. And so my kids had no idea who the fuck I was. But I showed them the video and then both of them were like, you did a really good job, Mom. I was like,
you did.
I know.
Thank you. Did. It was exceptional. I love seeing the love you got on social for that.
Fun.
Well deserved.
That I once met Missy Elliott. Did I tell you this?
I'm so jealous.
I was at the Gansevoort Hotel at the club at the top, the bar.
Where's that?
Meatpacking District, New York City.
Okay.
I want to say 15 years ago-ish or so. And I just turned and she's right next to me. That's so New York, right? I'm just like, oh, okay. But you have to be cool there.
Well, of course. Yeah. You can't freak out and be
That's why I had to ask you where it is. Because they'd be like, you're not allowed to. I cannot be cool.
Yeah, they'll kick you out.
So what did you do?
Oh, I just looked at her like, hey, and did the head nod, like all cool, like, hey, because I mean, she's like right there, So,
Right.
but that was neat. And then I saw Tracy Morgan the next night at the Plaza Hotel bar. But anyway,
Wow.
yes, look at that. Crazy. I know, hashtag NYC weird things.
Well, that's like in Nashville, though. Like it's an unspoken rule that when you see celebrities, you don't talk to them. But most of the time, I don't know who the fuck they are because I don't listen to country. I did one time see, though, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw in Toys R Us.
Oh.
I didn't say anything to them, but that was really cool.
Yeah, it's neat. I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Like regular people.
And I've seen Dolly Parton and Reba.
Oh my God. Really?
But like you can't say anything to them. Well, like it's an unspoken Nashville rule. Like you don't go up to them.
Mm-hmm. They want to live their lives like they're real people. Whatever.
I was laughing because I saw the other day on Twitter, on the X, someone posted about CeeLo, like he'd gone into like a department store, some store, and looked at this woman and was like, either he or I think his security was like, no pictures or whatever. And this woman was like, basically like, we didn't even have our phones out. Like, no. And all these people in the comments are like, who's going to take a picture of CeeLo? Like,
I would.
I met CeeLo in an elevator and I took a picture with us.
Exactly.
I was like, I totally would.
I'll put it on the Instagram, of course, but I was with my mom. We were actually living in Australia and I came back and I'd been back in the US for about 45 minutes. We were staying she met me in Atlanta and spent a weekend with me in Atlanta when I was coming back for work. And we were in the elevator. I mean, you can see his eyes, were barely open and
he'd been partaken.
Yeah. So I have to, I can see why you may not want to take a picture with someone. They probably do want to live their lives, I guess. But if somebody asked me to take a picture, oh my God, I'd be so excited. Someone did a couple weeks ago, a friend of a friend that is in HR. Like, so it's not like a totally random person. It made my day, but not CeeLo.
But I think that's weird to like be like, you can't take pictures. Says who?
Right.
Like you're in public. It's a free domain. Like what the fuck?
Then don't go. Like,
don't go outside.
Right.
If you don't want your picture taken.
Well, and it's embarrassing. Like if somebody doesn't have their phone out to say it proactively, like that's cringe.
Yeah, like that is cringe, Oh, that is very cringe.
Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Did you dress up, Ashley?
I dressed up as an HR bestie. I used it as an opportunity for sort of self-promotion because I wore a nice hoodie that I could, which it wasn't, again, talk about the weather, it wasn't as cold as I would like it to be on Halloween. I needed to be a little bit chillier to get in the right mindset, but...
Yeah. October isn't Octobering this year.
What about you, Leigh?
Are we still talking about the weather? I mean, I think here I go pull up my phone. I think it's
dress
90.
up.
No, dress up.
Dress up. Did you dress up?
I know. Look, I'm already pissed about the weather. There I go. My temperature right now in San Antonio, Texas is 80, feels like 86. What the fuck? Oh my God. It's so humid. But you know what? I did not dress up this year. But last year I looked hot as hell. I went as Gamora. Do you remember that?
Yes.
We should share that in the stories anyway. I should post that.
Yeah.
This week. I should keep that going because I was proud of that. You know what I mean? But no, it just all caught up. I was traveling all September. You know how it is, and just busy and so no, I didn't. And I hate that for me, I really do. But built a lot of Legos. And had a candy charcuterie.
Wait, really? Well, you guys share that. You guys share that in the stories. That's fun.
Yes. Yeah. Bought the haunted house, the big one, and then also the Nightmare Before Christmas set.
Nice. Now, what do you do with them after they're done? Do you have them on display or?
Yes. I'm all yes and no. But the holiday ones get destroyed and rebuilt the next year. So I've got like 20 Christmas sets. Yeah, those aren't fucking all getting built this year. It's way too much work. I mean, I'm not a Santa's little elf, you know what I mean? It's just too much. And I already bought like 3 of the poinsettias, the new elf house, like all this, like 5 Christmas. What? I don't understand. I don't know.
Are you a Christmas person, like a big Christmas person?
I do decorate very
Okay.
nicely. Yeah, I mean, you know what? The reality is I'm a better person when there's a Christmas tree in the house.
That's fine.
For real. I'm ready to put it up.
So I have 4 Christmas trees. I have one in
I
each
love
room,
that.
you know? So I just need that to not be a bitch.
I remember growing up, and this might be, well, I'm curious if this is a Texas thing. My guess is, Jamie, this will resonate as a Tennessee thing. Definitely as a Kentucky thing. I had friends growing up who had to share a room with their sibling because their parents, generally their mom, had a Christmas room in the house year round.
Oh, I would love a Christmas room.
Like I knew someone that literally shared a room with the sibling, but they had it. And we kind of like laugh about it, but it was like you really couldn't joke about it because it was obviously could be a little bit of a source of stress. But yeah.
Like a Christmas room, because I've never heard of this. Like a Christmas room, like it's decorated Christmas or to store Christmas presents?
No. Like it's decorated for Christmas year
Oh.
round. Like they are a better person year round for it, but
Wow.
all year round.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know what I have seen in rich people's homes? So not mine. But you know what I have seen is people have Christmas closets. Have you heard of the Christmas closet?
I have not.
I'm going to find Instagrams on this, reels. I'm going to find them. People literally will have, like, it looks like a bookshelf, like in their living room, something pretty, opens up. And that's where they just roll the Christmas tree into, no shit, and all their Christmas decorations. So they keep the tree.
Yeah,
It's
that is.
already wrapped, everything. Isn't that brilliant?
That's what I was going to say.
If I ever get real rich, fucking having a Christmas closet.
This is
big time.
This is the shit. But CEOs better watch out. If your people find out you have a Christmas closet and you're giving them a 1% raise, they're going to come and steal your Christmas tree like the Grinch. So watch out.
Yeah. I do love this time of year. You know, Jamie and I
Yep.
are SAGs. We have birthdays coming up here in December. Yeah, Sagittariuses.
Yeah, I was like, what's that stand for?
Not my boobs.
Yeah, saggy boobs. Oh my God.
I'm a perimenopause.
Oh shit. Quick story, okay?
Please.
Like I went to the dermo, and it's helpful for everybody, but I went to the dermo late last week to do my annual skin check thing. Like shout out dermatologists, right? Like go to the dermo, please get your skin checked. But basically you have to get butt ass naked. Right. Well, the whole office like follows me or knows me. They know what I do, you know, and my doctor does and stuff. So she's talking about my videos and shit. But anyway, so, you know, I had to like get naked. And I was like, hold on. Let me lean back a certain way here. So my boobs look just a little bit perky, you know, and not so saggy, you know. And she starts laughing. And I was like, hey, patient doctor privilege here now. No, yeah, don't be telling people I got saggy tits, okay? Like, just let them know, like, if I lean back a certain way, them shits are perky. Oh, it was funny. I don't know. That just reminded me of that.
Then she proceeds to broadcast it on her podcast.
No, I know. I don't know. I'm just, you know, so, oh man, but it was funny, right? It was funny. But anyways, they're fine. They look okay. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm all sorry.
I'll save this. And I hate when people do this, but it's not, it'll be funny. I have an intro story that's not identical, but an intro story coming up on a future episode of the podcast that's about
saggy tits.
Ooh.
dermatology and coworkers. And there we are. So keep listening.
Okay. Teaser. I like that. So it's happy hour. What are we shooting the shit about besides everything we already did?
I met a new bestie this week.
Ooh.
I texted the ladies. So I went to Savannah on Monday, and I live in Atlanta, but I was speaking in Savannah on Tuesday morning. Hospitality design, Next Gen Leaders Conference, amazing. Like the crowd there, the audience was like all like cool colors, like expressing themselves. Totally amazing, really awesome. But anyway, but I live in Atlanta, so I'm like, do you drive or fly? But my only thing is, after I get done speaking, I kind of get tired, and so I'm like, I want to. So anyway, it was like a 32-minute flight.
Yeah,
so
I was going to ask. Easy,
so I took a nap on the way back. But on the way there, I sat next to this woman, and from the second I sat down, until we got off the plane. We get through. Her husband is waiting for her in security, chatted the entire way. And she was lovely. I literally was like this and be like, I kept thinking about Leigh and being like,
headphones in, bam.
I literally thought to myself, like, at what juncture, like Jamie would have been with, like, you would have been chatting. She was amazing. Leigh, I'm like, at what point would Leigh have like shut it down? And would you have been like, I need to.
It would have never happened.
Right. Okay. Right. That's probably
I would
fair.
have sat down and put my headphones in.
Yep. We were talking about like, the air. She's like, I twisted the air. I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's so cold. And she's like, it's so chilly, talking about weather. Anyway, so.
Of course.
But so this woman, so she had been a designer. And so, she'd been visiting her grandkids, taking care of them for the week. And she was very, very lovely, has a private plane. So it's definitely my new bestie, but she was not flying on that day. But anyway, so we're talking and she was like, what are you going for? And I was like, oh, I'm speaking. She's like, what are you speaking on? And I do manager training and, some of this live things. And like, oh, tell me about your career, like telling her about things. And so I was telling her this thing I do in my talks, and I won't give it away, but I do a thing in the talks that helps different people in the audience kind of give recognition to each other. I'll say no more than that. Anyway, she stops me and she goes, I just have to tell you that what you've done, you're so accomplished and you can just see it radiates and you love what you do. And I am so happy we met. And I am so proud of everything you built. I mean, she's like,
oh my God,
here I am with like my tears. And she's like, you're so beautiful, which I was not looking, I was fine. I appreciate that. Thank you. But she just was so kind. And she's like, I hear you talking about doing this for others. She's like, I hope there are people in your life that do that for you. And I was like, I was like, oh, my 2 podcast co-hosts. She's like, you have a podcast. So maybe she's listening. So my new bestie, cool. But yeah, she like her husband picked her up inside the airport, all cute. We're like walking up and she's like, I can't think his name was like Jim, let's say. She's like, Jim, meet Ashley. She's giving me a hug, kiss on the cheek. And so it is just sometimes the people that you'll meet. It was very sweet. And it like inflated my balloon.
Bestie's trip to Turks. Like, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Did you exchange info or?
Yeah, get a PJ.
I mean, right? I'm like, can I have your cell? Can I have your digits? Can I just show up? I mean, I know I have enough details. I'm sure I could show up at her house.
You didn't exchange contacts?
Well, I told her my Instagram, but I'm like, I'm trying,
Oh, that would be so you to exchange the contact information, though.
It would have been. I did. You know what? In the security line, I have a new LinkedIn connection from the security line. A guy right in front of me. So,
see, I thought it was the same person. My bad.
No, different. No. This was like this was a guy. This was a guy who was a former McKinsey alum. I figured all these things out in the.
How?
It just happens. It just happens. I want us to travel and for you to see life through my eyes, but don't pretend like you know me.
I saw it one time at the conference. I was watching you, wasn't I? I just walking 10 feet behind you, just watching the show. You and your yes face. You and your yes face.
Because I knew Leigh was watching, I brought my bold no face. I mean, I will like cry thinking about this moment because Leigh was like open mouth. Jamie, I really needed you to be there, but that was at the SHRM conference, which you won't see us at next year. So we don't think so quite so much. But anyway, that was my new bestie.
Oh, damn. Well, you always want rule number, I don't know, 200 or something. You always want to get the deets of people that have private boats and jets.
Planes and boats. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. A friend with a boat. Jamie, do you have a boat?
No.
You have a friend with a boat?
No. I used to have a jet ski and then I got pregnant. So we sold it.
Oh, those are fun though.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Jamie, what would you name a boat if you bought a boat? They're those fun names.
Oh, I don't know. I would have to think of something like really, like it'd have to be really silly.
Manifesto.
Would yours be Manifesto?
Yeah, why not?
Manifesto.
Manifesto. Love. Yes, that. And maybe it'll have its own Instagram at Manifesto. The Adventures of Manifesto. Oh.
Wee.
Oh, damn. Well, I am happy that it's so easy for you to make friends.
I just love meeting people.
Like, that's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat to hear. You know what I mean?
I go deep real quick. That's not actually.
Oh, that is what she said. Okay. Oh, my God.
Now that's what he said.
Damn.
When we launched our podcast, we were asked, can we get HR Besties merch? And this was wild to us. And it really happened. Like, it wasn't just our moms asking us. although they do support us. But we had our designer make stuff all cute, like with our logo, wine glasses, sweatshirts, mugs with sayings like, "Don't make me use my HR voice." But then we thought, okay, how do we sell it? We use Shopify. So we can have our own site and make it easy for our Besties listeners to see what we have and grab it easily. It's much more easily than trying to visit every corporate headquarters ourselves and just show it in person. And although that does sound appealing, we'll stick to Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/HRBesties. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/HRBesties to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/HRBesties.
It is a busy time, right? The weather is turning. It's busy. We're moving out of spooky season to cheery season and all that. But first, we have to get through the election, which is next week, right? You can cut that shit with a knife, can't you? Like it is all over everything. And I don't know about y'all, but I get text messages. I thought I had that shit blocked, man, but they must have just let candidates do whatever. I'm getting like 10 texts a day from everybody. Both sides, all parties. Are y'all getting that too? Like it is like overwhelming here.
Yeah, I think I finally got them all stopped. Or like,
really?
Did they know that I early voted and they stopped?
Oh.
Well, let me ask you this. I saw a billboard literally driving back from the airport the other day. I saw this billboard that was like, see if your friends voted, like vote.friends or friends.vote. I can't remember which ones. And I was like, I don't know what kind of information you have to put in there to find out if people voted. But I was definitely like, wait, whoa, but also the text, I feel like I still have an area code from Northern Virginia from when I lived in the DC area 20 plus years ago. I kept it even when we moved to Australia. Like I ported it over to Google Voice. But so I'll get some things from like, people think I'm in Virginia. So I get some of these races in Virginia. But I feel like these candidates text and they like try to bring in like Gen Z language, like, like Giat, whatever, like sup.
What's up, Rizzler?
Yeah, sup, Rizzler. Hey, Rizzlers. And you're like, wait.
Dead ass vote.
Yeah, and I'm like, is this some A/B testing? Like, I mean, do you not see you don't see the prescriptions coming into my house can peg my age pretty quickly? Like, yeah, but no, but in HR also people, if you're kind of having to thread that needle a little bit between like fostering connection and like keeping the like conversations from going to fisticuffs and keeping things. So it's not easy, but let me tell you this. We're going to talk about voting, and like in the US, voting is on a Tuesday, and a lot of the different states have different laws of what's required of like time off to vote. And I done a video where I was like, rather than pay your employment lawyers to be like, give me a 50-state survey of the list of time off to vote, like just give people the reasonable amount of paid time to vote, please, for the love of God.
Exactly.
And just do that. But yeah, in Australia, voting's different. So voting is on a Saturday and it's mandatory. And the fee is like $20 if you don't do it. And you can do it by mail as well. But it's on a Saturday and it's almost all the polling places are, at least where we were in Sydney, are local public schools. And so there's like fundraisers at each, like a barbecue. And when I was there, like, I think it was my daughter's grade. We did like a barbecue. So we're making like bacon, egg sandwiches, coffees, sausage sizzles. They call it democracy sausage. A sausage, it's like a big hot dog, in a bun, but they call it the democracy sausage. After you vote, you get your democracy sausage. But because it's on a Saturday, and again, there are people, of course, that work every day of the week, but those that work during the week, it's obviously easier. You come with your whole family. They walk down to the polling place. It's like a whole thing.
It's communal.
It's communal, and there aren't political ads. All you can have is like a little square that's like a sign that kind of has like positions on issues. So it's not as like, it's certainly not as testy. I mean, there's still some wild politicians in Australia, just like there are everywhere else. But to me, it's like it's what you'd said, I think, on Wednesday's episode, Leigh, of like, until you experience like the UK colleagues seeing the food banks and bringing that perspective. Like for me, it opened my eyes of like, wait, why do we have elections on Tuesdays during the week? And why is it such an issue of people who, employers who are like, oh, how much time do I have to give my teams to vote? So anyway.
Yeah, it should be a federal holiday. But I love hearing that, that it's like thought of as this duty right? Like this civil obligation, which, we say it's that here, but we
Yep.
don't act like
Yeah.
it's that,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So we don't, put the system around to support that, but have you all been seeing a lot of things like online about the election and sharing and thoughts and all of this? One thing that I've seen a few times is, from business people perhaps or HR professionals is that you should encourage politics and election talk at work. And my first thought is, tell me you've never worked in manufacturing without telling me. Tell me you've never worked with, all types of employees. Because I've had fights around elections and a lot of discipline issues and just you name it, so that one's a real tough one. How have you all handled that in your experiences? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think I've had people
That's
reach
shitty,
out
right?
wanting me to take some sort of stance, but I'm a fucking meme page. I'll post funny memes about the election, but it's not in
Yeah.
supporting either
Yeah.
candidate. You know what I mean? And I understand people want me to take a stance because I have a platform of, 1 million plus followers, but that's not why I created the page. If you want to follow me on my personal shit, then that's something different. But, it's not, it's just, I don't know.
I agree.
And I think it's kind of icky when I see brands do it.
There's certain things, there's certain things that matter to employment as well, of healthcare and the benefits that you provide. And, in the US, we had Supreme Court rulings, and it was hard for HR to be like, how is it legal to provide these things? Is it not? And so I think focusing on those causes and really thinking about that is really important, but it is hard. It's hard to meet people where they are if you're shutting the door on them and saying you won't whatsoever. Or what's hard is some of the stuff you see that is just, there's so much hate. There's so much hate. And I think that's the point of trying to bring it up in the workplace. I love it if we can make the workplaces where people can actually learn things and learn skills. But the realities of it are right now, things can be so contentious. And so someone tagged me on a LinkedIn, I saw it, and then I hadn't seen the notification again, but somebody had made a LinkedIn post that was employers encourage people to vote, but they really should take the opportunity to educate people on civics and candidates and their platforms and things. And someone's like, that's interesting. What do you think of that for onboarding? I'm I imagine that from imagine you go and work somewhere. And again, no place at all is a vacuum. And so if you started to work somewhere in whichever side politically, if it's one thing, if it's a political, PAC nonprofit, if you're going to work for something like that, probably have
totally
a sense
different.
of that.
Yeah.
Right. But you show up and during orientation, they're like, let me teach you about our government system. Also, if something sounds weird, if you say it that way, again, is it sad that that's arguably even a considerable idea? Yes, it is a very sad state of affairs, especially in the US. When we lived in Australia during the 2016 election, and people there, certainly oh my, what do you think of the election? But the question that really was interesting, they were like, but what about Congress? And now the Republicans have control of the House, the House and the Senate and these things. So how does that impact? And what about the Supreme Court? It was wild. These people that live literally across the world that have very knowledgeable interest in where in the US, most people couldn't say that.
Exactly. No more.
Yeah, so I was going to say probably more than most Americans.
Yeah. And so, I definitely think there's a time and a place. I don't just thinking of the realities of it. There's got to be some space for things. It's just always thinking on the flip side of would you say the same thing if it was a candidate different from you? For example, I was at Target the other day and there's someone wearing a political button. And I was like, boy, I wonder, of course, I'm not going to get into it and be tell me, do you have a company policy on that? But I was curious and wondering if there was a policy and how, and again, it's something that these organizations are having to and that's where people are what do we have to do? What can we do? And so HR often is trying to thread the needle in all of this. So I'm sure many of you will be anxiously awaiting the polls to close on Tuesday.
I know, right? And, I know there's all this talk about businesses, right? Picking candidates. I think of McDonald's and all that, just things in the news, right? And, for me, and I think I was sharing with you all earlier, the focus, especially for businesses, should be causes and values and not candidates and sides, for me personally, I've never spoken about politics in the office because it is very contentious here and very divisive. And I didn't want to alienate people from feeling like they could come to me as a safe place, and some people are very serious about it. Some people don't care, right? It's just the full gamut, but for me, I always try to be, Switzerland, personally, and coach my leaders on that, because I've had so many complaints from employees in my career saying, oh, my boss is this, I can't trust them. My boss is this, I can't trust them. I mean, right? I'm sure y'all have heard it. I mean, just really crazy shit, lots of complaints. So I'm excited for things to die down with the with the election and all that bullshit, Oh gosh.
I've gotten those texts this week. All of them are like, I have one for you. And I'm like, this week in particular, I'm like, I can guess. And I read down and I'm like, oh my God, I've literally gotten this probably 4 to 7 times from people that are like, my boss, literally my boss assumed my boss assumed I was the same candidate or like made a comment about it. And they're like, how should I respond if I'm not? Should I tell them? Should I just pretend to like the same candidate? I'm like, but these are the questions that people have in the workplace, especially with the power dynamic. Like the last thing you want to do is worry about something like a promotion or your compensation. And so just
based on
again,
the candidate.
Yeah, I think it's like
Absolutely.
knowing it's, you are a real person. Everyone's entitled to everyone is entitled to and should exercise. Like, please, vote and do that. But just knowing that the influence you have on other people at times, especially if you're assuming things about people, can create real awkwardness.
So did you say someone at the Bullseye store was wearing a political pin on their uniform? This is interesting because 2 nights ago I had a dream. And I just want to quickly share this.
Jamie, are you ready? Cheers, Jamie.
I'll make it quick. Well, I had some crazy dreams all week, actually. Well, all the time. But anyways, this one in particular is I was a ride-along, like air quotes, ride-along. I say this because we weren't in a car, but I was like a junior officer at the Target Police Department. So I was at a Target, apparently, and they had a police force, and the police force's offices were where, remember the retro snack bar?
The popcorn. I get the popcorn. Popcorn's so good there.
Yeah. Well, that was a police department.
Oh.
And so we fought Target crimes.
Like theft?
So it was wild. No, like murder and shit, like in the Target. Like
At the Target?
Every Target had a police department, and I was part of the TPD. Just as a ride along, and it was fucking wild, dude, but anyways.
Oh my God, Ashley, please AI photo this, please.
The TPD.
The TPD, the Target Police Department.
Yeah.
We are having, please have
And I need like Leigh with like a gun and like a red Target shirt and khakis.
No, a scanner. It was a scanner.
With the red shirt and the khakis.
the best part of the self-checkout when they have the scanner thing, and I'll get it unnecessarily.
Oh, I know. I feel so fancy.
And I always tell the kids, like, well, no, I'll do it because I don't want you to double scan it. And then, have to wait. Excuse me, wave the hand for help, because help
yes.
me, whatever.
Help that never
But
comes.
really, I just like doing the scanner. And sometimes I'll do the spinny thing. And I'll let the kids have a turn.
Like that. Yeah, like a sheriff.
I'm going to do it. We'll see it. We're going to do one take with ChatGPT on what this image is going to look like. And we'll see if it makes Leigh. You could look like an old man. You never know what it's going to, ChatGPT has a mind of its own when it comes to what it thinks that we look like. So,
Oh, man. But I think I used to date one of those cops because I was hugging him and stuff. And then another cop, would felt awkward about hugging me. I was like, yeah, you don't need to hug me. It was weird. I don't know. I had some sexual dynamics with the police force. So that was a whole other weird layer of this dream, but nothing happened like that. It was just, I knew there was more to the story.
so many layers to this.
Did you have handcuffs?
I don't recall handcuffs.
They were twist ties from the Target. Was it a grocery Target? Was it a high end? That's a high end. That's a super Target.
No, it wasn't a super Target.
Oh, that's sad.
I know.
I guess with the old school snack bar, it probably makes sense. Okay, now it would be a Starbucks or whatever. Oh, we have gone off the rails this happy hour.
Of course, per usual,
I'm going to nurse this candy hangover.
Oh, shit.
As you should, Bestie.
Happy Friday.